Have you ever watched a massive, heavyweight athlete move with the speed of a literal sprinter and just thought, wait, how is that even biologically possible? Have you ever wondered how one of the most physically dominant athletes in WWE and MMA history actually built his legendary physique? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're taking a fascinating, highly structured look at a routine inspired by the one and only Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. We're going to decode the specific training principles and the science behind powerlifting that allows a human being to combine massive, heavyweight size with absolutely remarkable agility. Okay, let's dive into this blueprint. Here's exactly what we're covering in today's explainer. 1. The Beast Incarnate's philosophy. 2. The weekly workout split. 3. Power, core, and explosiveness. 4. Fueling and recovering. And 5. Can beginners do this? Before we even look at a single dumbbell, we've got to establish a fundamental difference in mindset. On one hand, you have traditional bodybuilding, which is mostly focused on muscular hypertrophy just to look a certain way in the mirror. But the Beast routine, that is all about functional strength, explosive movement, and intense athletic conditioning. This subject trains for elite performance, pure and simple. That massive, intimidating physique, it's really just a byproduct of training to be the absolute strongest, fastest, and most durable athlete in the room. Just look at the resume of the athlete who inspired this whole blueprint. We're talking about a WWE superstar, a UFC heavyweight champion, and an NCAA Division I wrestling champion. To pull that off, it requires a body that can wrestle, strike, lift, and endure. It requires a really deep understanding of the science behind powerlifting and athletic performance, seamlessly combining raw heavyweight strength with the agility of a much smaller man, which, let's be honest, is an absolutely terrifying combination to face in a ring.
All right, Section 1, the Beast Incarnate's philosophy, training for performance, not just looks.
So what's the overarching goal here? Total physical dominance. The philosophy rests on these 4 pillars: maximum strength and explosive power, functional muscle and conditioning, grip strength and core stability, and finally, mobility and recovery. Notice anything missing? Yeah, there's no mention of bicep peaks or calf aesthetics here. Instead, the physiological science behind this programming strictly targets the central nervous system and fast-twitch muscle fibers. It's about generating maximum force in minimum time while maintaining the endurance to survive grueling physical combat. Moving right along to Section 2, the weekly workout split, a 7-day breakdown of muscle and power. Let's see how this actually builds. This is an insanely intense 6-day grind that starts on Monday with heavy chest and triceps. Tuesday shifts to the back and serious grip strength with deadlifts and farmer's carries. Wednesday attacks the legs with squats, but pairs them with box jumps for explosive power. Thursday covers shoulders and athletics. Friday is a brutal full-body strength day featuring power cleans. Saturday is pure conditioning to build endurance, and Sunday is finally active recovery. What I really want you to notice here is the dedicated integration of functional power. Every single lifting day includes something dynamic, whether that's battle ropes, sled pushes, or medicine ball slams.
And this brilliantly illustrates the actual science behind powerlifting. It all comes down to compound exercises. These are lifts that recruit multiple muscle groups across multiple joints simultaneously. Think squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, and power cleans. Biomechanically, by forcing your muscular and central nervous systems to work in absolute synchrony, you maximize mechanical tension and trigger a massive hormonal response. You literally cannot build beast-level strength by isolating small muscles on machines. You have to move heavy loads through space using your body's entire kinetic chain.
Okay, Section 3, power, core, and explosiveness, the defining edge of an elite athlete. See, power is what truly separates a functional athlete from a static weightlifter. And the science of power is actually pretty simple. It's strength multiplied by speed. It's one thing to be able to squat 500 pounds slowly, right? But it's a completely different game to launch a 280-pound body onto a high box. These exercises, box jumps, medicine ball throws, power cleans, sprint intervals, they train the central nervous system to fire fast-twitch muscle fibers instantly. When you're executing these, proper form and adequate recovery between sets are absolutely vital. You're training for speed and rate of force development here, not just exhaustion.
But here's the catch. To transfer all that massive explosive power from the ground up through your upper body, you need a rigid transmitter, and that's your core. A powerful core is essentially the engine of an elite athlete. Exercises like hanging leg raises, planks, and the Pallof press teach your trunk how to brace and create intra-abdominal pressure. It's basically tightening your core like you're about to take a punch. This spinal stabilization is exactly what allows you to safely deadlift heavy weights and efficiently transfer force during a power clean or a sprint. Without a rock-solid core, power leaks out, and injuries happen for sure.
Now for Section 4, fueling and recovering, because you actually build the physique in the kitchen and the bed.
Now, what's really interesting about this daily routine is the highly structured, constant intake of clean proteins and complex carbs, and honestly, the monumental grocery bill required to sustain it. It is a scientific approach to keeping the body in an anabolic or muscle-building state all day long. Breakfast combines fast and slow-digesting proteins with complex carbs. Midday keeps that fuel steady. Around the workout, the focus shifts to quick energy like bananas and rice cakes, followed immediately by rapid absorption whey and white rice to spike insulin and shuttle nutrients straight into the muscles. And finally, finishing the day with slower digesting proteins like steak or cottage cheese ensures muscle repair keeps going overnight.
And speaking of overnight, let's talk about high-intensity recovery. You know, you don't actually get stronger in the gym. You get stronger while you recover. Getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep is just as mandatory as lifting heavy weights, because sleep is when human growth hormone naturally peaks. Add in stretching, foam rolling, and active stress management, and you've got a complete system designed to heal the central nervous system and repair muscle tissue so you can come right back and hit those heavy weights again.
Finally, Section 5. Can beginners do this? Translating elite training into realistic goals. It's the most natural question to ask after looking at 6 days of brutal power cleans, sprints, and heavy compound lifting. Is this intense setup actually suitable for a beginner who just wants to get strong?
Well, the answer is yes, but, and this is a massive but, with some major adaptations. First off, you absolutely have to drop your ego. A beginner must use much lighter weights and prioritize the exact biomechanical technique of these compound lifts first. You also need to heavily reduce the total training volume, doing fewer sets and maybe training 4 days a week instead of 6. The fundamental science of the routine is fantastic for building a base, but you've got to gradually increase the intensity as your neuromuscular system adapts and your strength actually improves.
Which brings up the giant elephant in the room regarding our expectations. If you follow this routine perfectly, drop your ego, and put in all the work, can you naturally build the exact physique of an elite heavyweight champion?
So the crucial point to remember is exactly what this quote lays out. Genetics, body structure, and individual circumstances mean that replicating any elite athlete's exact physique is highly unlikely. You are building your best, most powerful body, not someone else's. Your muscle insertions, your bone structure, and your genetic baseline are completely unique to you.
The ultimate takeaway here? Patience. There are absolutely no shortcuts in the science of strength. Developing this kind of elite power, functional muscle, and athletic conditioning takes years of disciplined, consistent training. It requires years of prioritizing those heavy compound movements, managing your sleep, and hitting your protein macros day in and day out.
Which leaves us with one final provocative question. We've seen the blueprints. We've seen how functional power, explosive speed, and heavy compound lifting create an elite machine. So, are you ready to trade in training just for looks and start training for ultimate performance? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep pushing your limits, and I'll catch you in the next one.